Father Jay here for your Tuesday update. Here in front of Calvary, which today and in that view is postcard worthy, I think. Such a beautiful place, such a beautiful setting, and like you, I feel very blessed to be a part of this community and to steward these resources that we have. You can see here the parking lot, which has been newly repaved. New stripes on the parking lot, so it's actually clear where the lines are, where the parking spaces are, and so forth. And you'll notice right here, right at the edge, that the road that runs here in between the stone monuments and what we have called the Canterbury Garden, that this has not been paved. One of the recommendations that we've received from our landscape architect, who is working with us to pull together ideas about this property and how we might steward it in the years to come, was to take out this small piece of road and restore this to grass. And while she has many recommendations, she's working on putting those together, and we will have an opportunity and really need for you to participate in giving feedback on those ideas. This particular piece needed to be implemented now because we're in the midst of repaving. So that's why we went ahead and took that out. You also cannot see from here, but there are new gutters on the parish house. There are new gutters on all of Calvary, with the exception of the church itself. The church building itself had its gutters replaced more recently than everything else, so the rest of the buildings got updated as well. And again, these are more pieces of our capital improvement program that has proceeded in this time, and in some ways is the way that we can make productive use of this period that we are in. And this period that we will continue to be in some way, shape, or form going ahead. We will obviously look to return to in-person worship as soon as it is safe, as soon as we can reasonably do that. But safety is a paramount concern for us. So we are keeping an eye on that. And in the meantime, working to use this time to take care of projects that need attention anyway. We're also going to take some time during this period to look into our symbols. We have seen over the last 2 weeks now examples from both major political parties in the United States of using religious imagery, using religious themes to support a particular stance. And what we can draw from that, among other things, is that even though attendance at religious services has diminished over the last 15 or 20 years, the symbols of our faith continue to be very powerful. The symbols that we adopt as part of our faith continue to be very powerful and continue to communicate a very strong message. And so we owe it to ourselves to continue to look into what the symbols of this place, this land on which we stand, communicate, whether we mean for them to or not. And that especially includes these monuments that have stood on this place for almost 100 years now. So for about a half to two-thirds of the history of this place. And as I look around, I see all sorts of names on here. Jefferson Davis, James Whitcomb Riley, William Sidney Porter, Francis Scott Key. It's an interesting and unusual mix of people. And as we work to understand our legacy in this place, our history in this place, and how that history affects our understanding of our relationship to people of color in our community, people of color in the broader society, and our own relationships within ourselves to privilege and to race. This is perhaps the most poignant, most powerful example that we have to both the enduring power, the enduring legacy of those ideas, and also the great ambiguity in that history. And so what we began before the coronavirus, what we intended to do with our Lenten series, we're actually going to start, we're going to pick back up. We're going to pick back up not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday with a conversation with John Elliston. John is a local journalist, and he is the one who wrote an article for the Mountain Express that tells a lot of the story of these monuments. And he will join me in conversation online on a Zoom conversation, which you will be invited to, or which you can watch live streamed, to talk about these monuments, talk about sort of the broader context of that, and enable us to dig a little bit deeper into our story and see where we might take it from here. So I hope that you will put next Wednesday evening on your calendar and plan on joining us for that conversation. I will send you more information about that. And in the meantime, we'll continue to do the work of stewarding this place and of taking care of the resources that have been entrusted to us so that they will be here for future generations. We will look to make our legacies, make our contributions to this community as beautiful and as lasting as the buildings that we occupy. And I hope that you will join me on this journey. I hope that you will walk in ways of discovery and of curiosity and of courage yourselves. And I pray that in the days and weeks to come that God will bless you and keep you. God will make his face to shine upon you and give you peace.